So, for today's video, I've got another tip video up here. People have been asking me multiple times on how to conduct your first scan of a person, your initial scan, and what you should be looking for. This is a question that I've kind of skirted around for a little bit because I didn't want to give definite answers on what you should be looking for. When you complete a scan, you shouldn't be looking for one thing in particularly. You should be looking for, you should look for what evidence is presented to you and then fill in the blanks. If you're looking for chalk marks, for example, on someone, you may never find it, but there could be a plethora of other bits of information present. So I wanted to work on a way to present that information that you guys were asking, while also not conditioning viewers to look for specific items. I think I finally worked it out on how I'm going to do that, but first I need the assistance of an old friend. You know him, you love him, he's the reason you tune into my channel, I'm sure. We've got Scully coming back for a video. To start our scan, let's start from the bottom and work our way up. Scully, what are you doing? Will you stand up? Thank you. Starting off with the shoes, there's a number of things that you can deduce. Shoes really are a treasure trove of deductive opportunities. You can deduce activity level, hobbies, income level, where someone has been, what they do for work or recreation. In a pinch, you can also deduce handedness based on the wear of the back of the shoe where they take it off. Also look at the shoe strings. Have they been traded out, or are they as old as the shoe? A lot of work environments don't require their employees to wear specific shoes, so a pair of shoes or pants may be the only thing on someone from their personal lives when they are wearing a uniform. This can be valuable when you're looking to make deductions about someone's life outside of work. Speaking of pants, no. Pants can tell you if they do a lot of work on their knees, if they've been sitting down. You can find traces of what they've come into contact with on their pants. Can you tell which pockets are in use? If yes, can you tell what's in the pockets? You can also find crease marks. All of this is useful information when making a deduction about someone. If they're wearing a belt, this too can speak about activity level. It can also tell you about their interests, such as when they're wearing a belt buckle, and work. Finally, the belt tail will almost always point away from the dominant hand. The next thing you would look for in your scan is the t-shirt. We can find a lot of useful information here. You can see some obvious things like interests, or you might see where the person has come into contact with some substance in their life. Their activity level can also be determined through the shirt, and their work based on what kind of clothes they're wearing. It's also possible to determine where someone is based on their clothing style, and oftentimes accurately determine parts of their personality, such as being introverted or extroverted. More revealing types of clothing might indicate someone with a manipulative personality. Someone who wears their work clothing all the time might be a workaholic. Moving to the arms, you can determine something like physical activity level, and hands can often tell you what kind of work someone does based on calluses and hand strength. Tattoos are also a good thing to make note of, as they are practically a statement in themselves about what the person wants others to see. Watches can also be a good thing to look for during this part of the scan. Next, we would look at the face, where we can find piercings, tattoos, information about what kind of job they might work based on their facial hair and haircut, ethnicity, and so on. Hats, too, can tell you what kind of work they might do and how much time they spend outside. Hats can also show you their interests, if there's a label or image on the hat, or their hobbies. Coats, jackets, and accessories can tell you about where someone has been, what the weather was like, their interests, their activity levels. There are uniforms, which can obviously serve to tell us about the subject's profession, but also how long someone might have been working there and their seniority at the location. A lot of uniforms are designed to make it easier for the employees and for visitors to locate the managers. Now we would move away from physical evidence and onto body language and eye contact, which serve to tell us how someone is feeling or what their interests and motives are. They can tell you about comfort and attraction, among other things, but also require special study to understand, much like the rest of the items on this list. If you dedicate time to studying this, though, it can be a strong addition to your toolbox in a scan. Also keep in mind that there are other things that you can determine from someone through your scan. These are just the most common and easiest things to look for in your basic first scan. But don't close your mind to the other things that you might be able to determine.